Hello, glad to see you back. Welcome to this part 2 of the Impact Investing course on the Thought for Food Digital Labs. In this part, we will talk about the difference between philanthropy, traditional capitalism, and impact investing. Let's start. The food safety goal is that everybody in the planet get food in a sustainable, sufficient, and healthy way. And of course, to achieve that goal, we need some resources. Traditionally, the resources to achieve the food security goal have come from three main sources: charity, philanthropy, and traditional private investing. Normally, people tend to mix the money that comes from charity and the wealth that comes from philanthropy, but it's important to notice the difference in origin and scope of that kind of money. The main difference between charity and philanthropy money are the following. Normally, charity focuses in short-term interventions, while philanthropy tends to be more in the search of long-term solutions. Also, charity focuses on social services, while philanthropy tries to make a social change. Charity tends to be more reactive, while philanthropy tends to be more proactive. In charity, the responses are more voiced in the individual, while in philanthropy, they tend to be more collective and organized. Charity tends to generate dependent communities that are reliant on the response of charity, while philanthropy wants to generate empowered and independent communities. We think both approaches have a place in the world. While charity might be a great solution in short term and to make quick responses, philanthropy have the ability to make bigger changes in the world because of their long-term approach. For the rest of the session, we will focus on the philanthropy side and how this is different from traditional capitalism. The goals of philanthropy normally is to create a positive change in society. It can be focused on many activities: education, food, health, energy, and normally conduct activities that we relate with NGOs and governments. While their main goal is to create a positive change in society, the profit side is not required. It's not that they don't want to make money, but it's not one of the parameters that they use to measure the success of their organizations. On the other side, the goal of traditional capitalism organizations is to increase the shareholder value of anything that they are trading. It can be stocks in the stock exchange or the trading of any service or product. While the idea is not necessarily that they make harm, the positive impact in society is not required. Again, it's not that they don't want to make any change or that they want to make any harm, but it's not one of the parameters that they use to measure their success. In the past, these two concepts have been very separated, and actually it was not very common that these two concepts mixed in any way. However, in past years, a new kind of organization have arisen that makes the discipline of traditional capitalism for making money as well as the willing to making a positive change in society. This new model have been called conscious capitalism, and impact investing is a part of it. The organizations that want to follow this model have to generate profit while doing something good, and we will see some examples of this kind of company. People that have to make decisions on how to allocate the money both in philanthropy and traditional investing have to take into account a lot of factors. In philanthropy, for example, capital allocators have to find out if the organizations that will receive the money have a good idea of what problem they are solving, who is the benefited population, and what are the impact indicators. On the other side, in traditional investing, it's very important to investors to identify where the revenue comes from, what is the profit, what's the inventory, the depth, the market, the competitors, and the intellectual property that a company might have. However, and even if these two worlds seem very separated, they are things that both sides take in account. For example, the team, including the experience, the honesty, and the relationship between the team members, the management in the company or the organization that will receive the money, the teamwork that happens between the company members, the partnerships and relationships that they have among the community, the idea or technology that they are using to solve the problem, as well as the internal corporate structure that they follow to run their organizations. In that way, we can see that philanthropy, capital allocation, and traditional investing are not very different one to each other. If an organization wants to get some money from an impact investing organization, they will have to comply with all these things. They will have to comply with the philanthropy side and identify the problem that they are solving, the benefited population and the impact indicators, as well as the business side with revenue, profit, and inventory controls. Something that is very important for the impact investors is the relation that an organization have with all the stakeholders, including the customers, the employees, the suppliers, the community in general, since they will be the recipients of the impact that an organization may have. This is a model that we will be using for the rest of the sessions, and I invite you to, with your team, analyze if you have enough information of each one of these topics. Different investors and organizations might have a different list, but at least we recommend you to have these topics covered if you want to approach to an impact investor. I hope to see you next session where we will touch on some of the main impact investment misconceptions, since we think this will help you to be better prepared to present to an impact investor. See you soon!